Hi dear students, a very good morning to you all. So today we are moving to the new unit 3, Man and Media. Okay, let's get started. Let's begin. Look at the pictures shown below. So there you can see so many pictures. Can you identify all these pictures? After looking to all these pictures, there you can see some questions it follows. Let's read them. The first one, what do these pictures tell us about? Okay, is there any connection between these pictures? Yes, of course, there is a connection. What is the connection? All these pictures shows us the way of communication happened in olden days and modern days. So the second question is, do you remember the stories in which birds and animals carried messages? We have read so many stories in which birds and animals used to carry messages, isn't it? So the third question is, how are messages conveyed nowadays? In olden days, we used to use animals or birds to convey messages. Then the question is, how are messages conveyed nowadays? Nowadays, we use mobile phone, laptop, internet to convey the messages. So here we have an article to know more about how the way the message is conveyed. So let's read. The story of messages. Nowadays, when we want to communicate, we either email a person or send an SMS. Everything happens by the clicking of a mouse or the pressing of few buttons. It was not so in the near past. Most people wrote letters, put them in an envelope, got them stamped, dropped them in a post box, and waited patiently to hear from the other person. Okay, so let's check the meaning. Nowadays, when we want to communicate, we either email a person or send an SMS, isn't it? Okay, nowadays, if we want to communicate a person who is far away from us, what we do? We do email or send messages to the person, isn't it? And everything happens by the clicking of a mouse or the pressing of a few buttons. If we are using a laptop or computer, we need to press the mouse. And nowadays we use a mobile phone to contact or communicate person. So we used to press some some buttons, or we just need to press our screen. It was not so in the near past. So actually it was not like that in the past. Most people wrote letters. So let's check how was the communication happened in the past. Most of the people, they wrote letters and put them in an envelope. So they will put the letter into an envelope, got them stamped. They will paste a stamp on it and dropped them in a post box. They will put the letter into a post box and waited patiently to hear from the other person. So they will be waiting for a long time to reach the letter to the person, and they want to get the reply from the person also. So they have to wait a long time to communicate with other person who is in so far. Way back in the 1890s, letters went on horseback from the east to the west of America. One freight company decided to speed things up by hiring 80 men to take the mail to the west on horseback. Okay, so way back in the 1850s, it's a long past age. So in 1850s, letters went on horseback from the east to west of America. So that was the first communication by letters happened. It was in 1850s. So the letters went on horseback. They used horses to send the letters, and it happened in west of America. One freight company decided to speed things up by hiring 80 men to take the mail to the west on the horseback, and they wanted to make the communications fast. So they decided they hired 80 men to take the mail to the west. Okay, they used horses to send the letters to the west. In 1860, the Pony Express was formed. The riders for the Pony Express was chosen for their lightweight as well as the riding ability. Okay, so in 1860s, they decided to speed up the things. They selected 80 men to send the letters on horseback. Okay, then the riders they selected checking the weight, if they were lightweight, as well as if they know how to ride a horse well, they will be selected. Most of them were young boys, and most of the riders they were young. Do you know why? We can know it later. The route they undertook was a rugged one, means the route, the way they were going, they were riding were very difficult one. It went from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento, California, a distance of over 1,800 miles. Okay, so the riders want to ride, the route was they want to take the letters from St. Joseph, Missouri to Sacramento in California, a distance of over 1,800 miles. So each rider rode a total of 75 miles, changing ponies at different stations. Okay, so there were 80 riders. So each rider will be riding 75 miles. After riding 75 miles, the next rider will be waiting there, and he'll take the letters and he'll ride 75 miles. Okay. The mail was carried in 4 leather boxes. Okay, all the mails, all the letters were carried in 4 leather boxes, which were attached to a special saddle blanket. Okay, so it will be attached on the ponies, means horses, which were attached to the special saddle blanket thrown over the saddle. Saddle means a seat fastened on the back of horse. The changing of ponies were done in 2 minutes. So I said a rider need to ride 75 miles, then the next one will be waiting there. The changing of the ponies happened within 2 minutes. Then the next one will be riding to 75 miles. Now let's analyze the questions. The first question was, everything happens by the click of a mouse or the pressing of a few buttons. What does the writer mean by this? Everything happens very quickly, isn't it? If we want to communicate with other person, we just need to press some buttons. The second question is, under what circumstance was the Pony Express formed? So you can write the answer. In 1850s, the letters went on horseback from west to east in America, and a freight company decided to speed up the things. So they hired 80 men to ride the horses and to send the letters from east to west. So, this is how the Pony Express formed. The next question is, list the modern ways of communication. List the modern ways of communication. So, what are the modern ways of communication? Mobile phone, television, etc. Okay, that's all for today's class. So, you can listen to this class and write these 3 questions and answers to your notebook. We will be learning the remaining portion in the next class. Okay, take care.